Good day, I'm Chartered, your accounting tutor. In today's video, we are still going to continue with books of original entry under Introduction to Accounting. This is the concluding aspect of the books of original entry, where we have the returns inward daybook or the returns inward journal. We also have the return outward daybook or the returns outward journal. In these books, it is clear what is return inward journal or return inward daybook. Return inward journal or return inward daybook is a book into which all goods returned by customers, all goods returned by what? Customers into the business are recorded. Here, mind you, this is not cash being returned, it is goods that have been returned, that is goods were sold on credit, then later returned by the customers due to certain reason, either not according to specification or any reason or damage. If they are returned back to the business, such goods are recorded or such transaction is recorded into the returns inward daybook. Mind you, just clarify the other video, if non-current assets, for example, you purchased furniture, you sold furniture or any other assets that is not goods being returned, please don't record it in returns inward daybook. Return inward daybook deals strictly with only goods that have been sold and returned by customers into the business. Look at on the 9th of March 2026, goods returned by ABC Limited 10,000. Record that goods were sold to ABC Limited on credit. So ABC Limited decided to return some of the goods worth 10,000. These are the transactions that you record in the return inward daybook. Let's go where we demonstrate the return inward daybook. You draw your return inward daybook just like the sales daybook and the purchases daybook, whereby we have the date, we have the particular, we have the folio, we have the details. So in this case, the detail is not there because there is only one kind of good. There was no need of bringing out the details, only the value. When you get the detail, you go ahead and bring out the details. So here, on the 9th of March 2026, ABC Limited returned goods worth 10,000. Here is SL. You can see the link because ABC Limited is under sales ledger. So if goods will be returned to ABC Limited, by ABC Limited, it will fall under sales ledger and the value is 10,000. So here I'm just using one illustration or one transaction. For example, we have other returns by other customers up to 2 or 3 or even more. It's just like I demonstrate in the sales daybook. You now put the name of the customer, the value returned in that order, and each one should be closed. At the end of the day, the total of all the returns will be put together and then transferred to what is called the return inward ledger, which falls under the general ledger. So here we just have one illustration, but there are more. Don't forget to put each of the illustration, close it, don't close the total, then you add all the values and then take the final value at the end of the month to what is called the returns inward ledger, which is a link between the daybook and the ledger. Next, now look at the return outward daybook or return outward journal. On the 10th of March 2026, goods returned to Mr. Teso worth 20,000. When goods are returned out, then we record them into what is called a return outward daybook. What is a return outward daybook? A return outward daybook is a book of original entry into which goods that are purchased from suppliers or purchased into the business are returned. When the goods are returned by the business to suppliers or anybody that the goods are purchased from, then you use the return outward daybook. I'm seeing emphasized because it's the confusion of most learners. It is only goods. If, for example, you purchase furniture equipment and they have fault and you return it back to the supplier, please don't use return outward. Return outward is strictly only goods meant for resale. If they are purchased and may return back to the supplier, that is when you use return outward daybook. Don't forget. So on the 10th of 3rd March 2026, goods returned to Mr. Teso worth 20,000. You quickly come and draw your return outward daybook. Under the return outward daybook, the same format, very straightforward. There's no debit and credit. Learners can just find it very easy to do that. This is the date, the particular, they follow the details. In case the goods are returned in different types, and then you demonstrate it based on the way you follow the question based on how the transaction is. If there's no detail, you put that there. Always put this column-case and detail, you make the breakdown here. So on this fateful day, which is 10th of March 2026, goods were returned to Mr. Teso by the business. So this is purchase ledger, meaning this is under goods purchased on credit, and because the supplier, we are returning it to the supplier. So this purchase ledger 1. So the value is 20,000. Mind you, have other returns, that is other suppliers that the business have returned goods to. Mind you, you post them all in that date. At the end of the day, you close each of them, then add all the values, and what you get become what you transfer to the return output table. But in this transaction, in this illustration, we have only one transaction. Then you just bring down the total and then close the account at the end of the month, which is on the 31st of March 2026. You now say transfer to returns outward ledger GL. GL meaning that outward ledger is under general ledger. Then the total is 20,000. I know learners will find it easy to record transaction into other tables because there's no debit and credit. Just going to master the format, the heading, and everything. I have to close it and transfer it to the respective ledger groups in the ledger account using the appropriate folio. You don't have issue. But if you are doing a real practical question, it's called the folio. We follow in that order. We have folio 1, folio 2. We have purchase ledger 1, 2, general ledger 1 in that order. So you now see how beautiful the whole thing will link the books of original entry into the ledger, showing each page or each number that each books of original entry follow into the ledger account. Please don't forget, this is the end of the books of original entry. Don't forget to follow up my video because we are going to continue treating the topics in accounting. The next topic will be trading, profit or loss account, what we call the financial statement. Financial statement of a sole trader. We'll be concentrating on the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income of a sole trader. So don't miss out because there too we are going to make justice to how to treat all these financial statements, including the statement of financial, what we call balance sheet, in detail, including the additional information or other adjustment that learners find it difficult to handle. We are going to reduce it to the lowest step so that you gather it and have easy examination anywhere you are asked to sit and they will examine you. Thank you, I remain chattered. Don't forget to share my video, ask any question because I'm here for you to come back and address it and give you all what you need. Share it to your friends and anybody that need accounting to have the knowledge. Knowledge need to be shared. Thank you, I remain chattered.